Hello and welcome to Spooning with Mark Wogan. Each week I am joined by a very special guest and I will challenge the food that they think they love and the food that they think they hate. We are here in Homeslice in London's fair city, the Square Mile, where I have been cooking up a storm for my very special guest. And they are going to be blindfolded as ever at some point in proceedings. But who is my very special guest today? Well, he is the first and arguably the last ever German ambassador for comedy. He has been here since 2002, so is essentially English, but not really. But he is one of the best comics working today. Will you please welcome Henning Wehn?
Thank you very much. Very nice intro, Mark. Thank you.
Like
yeah, very good. Very good.
Because you do describe yourself as the first German ambassador for comedy.
Yeah, well, the German comedy ambassador. So if there is any successors, they're all welcome.
Yeah, but have there been any?
There has been the odd attempt.
Not to your standard, because I think what you did was you decided in a very gentle and one might argue un-German way to sort of take the piss out of us as a nation. Because we're quite easy. I mean, we are weird as a nation.
Adorable, though.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Because if we go all the way back to the beginning, right? 1974, you were born?
That's correct.
You're a child, you are.
Yeah.
In Hagen, in Germany.
That's right, in Westphalia.
Now, that couldn't be more German, could it? That part of Germany. It's about as German as it gets.
That is as German. Yeah, I mean, some people have got the idea that Bavaria is as German as it gets with the Lederhosen and the Umperbands and all that, but that is completely alien to me.
Yeah, because isn't it true that if you are making a joke in Germany, you joke about Bavarians in the same way that the British joke about the Irish?
You're correct, but they have been superseded by the Easterners.
Oh, really?
So when in 1991 the wall came down and we encountered them, we said they're even worse than the Bavarians.
But, I mean, do the German people thank David Hasselhoff for knocking the wall down?
I mean, that's the greatest bit of marketing ever, isn't it? That is
and we're
convincing the rest of the world that he's famous in Germany. That is amazing. And then in Germany, everyone goes, well, him of Baywatch, but that's essentially all there is, or him of Knight Rider. And so that's all. So yeah, he managed to forge a worldwide career on allegedly being famous in Germany.
Okay, I like the fact that that's not true, but it is true that he did have a couple of hits there, which he would have never have had here, Henning.
Well, I mean, may I remind you, the musical Chicago, where he had a long old stint, that was in London's West End, not in Berlin. So,
well, yes.
So you reckon that was just German tourists in the audience?
But also the other thing that was so German about your upbringing, and, you know, I don't mean to stereotype, but obviously we can't help ourselves in this country. Both your parents were in an accordion orchestra. I mean, it's the worst instrument on earth.
It is, but they were passive members, so they didn't practice at home.
Okay.
So
so you weren't mentally hourly scarred as a child?
Far from. Certainly not for that reason.
But so accordion players, but you didn't want to hang out there. You wanted to go off. Your dream was to be a tour guide in Spain.
How on earth did you find that out?
I've got a very good producer.
You really do. That is incredible.
Johnny over there, he can dig out facts.
That is absolutely unbelievable. Did he work for the Stasi or something? So that is absolutely incredible. Yes, I wanted to be a tour guide in Spain, and I did become a tour guide in Spain.
Yeah.
So I was in the summers, I was a bike guide around the Med, and then in the winter, I was a ski guide in the Alps.
So you're a very good skier, which naturally...
Few people say that, but thank you very much.
But most Germans I know are very good skiers. I mean, it's part of almost being German is you've got to ski in the same way that, although it's flat, most Swedes are good skiers.
Yeah, they've got the snow for the cross country, haven't they? Yeah. So, and that's, I mean, when I grew up, I remember most winters, there were certain weeks when we could cross country ski to school. But that's definitely stopped with call it climate change, call it whatever else.
Well,
you
you're
wanna
calling it
call
lots of
then.
things in New Tour, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which, if you give the correct title, it is, because you say it better than me.
Acid Wehn.
Acid Wehn, which is your surname, but it sort of sounds like rain.
Yeah.
And as we were talking before,
It's
so
an unbiased look at climate change, yeah.
but everyone sort of forgot about acid rain, didn't they? That was a big thing in the 80s.
Much 80s, yeah.
Yeah. And we were all sort of learning how to build nuclear shelters at home as well, which was a weird thing we don't.
Yeah, and then advice like hide under a table.
Yeah, hide under a table, or if you've got time, take a door off the hinges and lean it up against it and put some mattresses on it. That's not going to help.
But gives everyone something to do.
So you're touring, you're showing people around.
Equivalent to masks during COVID, isn't it?
Yeah.
So stick that on your face, everything will be fine. All right then. And
fine
some
now.
strange
Or-
injection. Oh, all right.
No, the other strange thing was like you can walk into the restaurant with a mask on, but as soon as food is in front of you, you're safe.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't need to wear the mask.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's quite difficult to eat. So you're tour guiding in Spain. Is this where your love of cycling comes from as well? Because you are a keen cyclist.
Yes,
aren't you?
yes.
Are you a mammal?
Oh, absolutely.
So you have quite a selection of lycra.
I've got selection of
And you
lycra.
clog up B roads at the weekend. You and your
more
friends.
country lanes, I would say. More the lanes,
No,
but
even better.
The odd B road, yeah.
And do you cycle in groups that you call a peloton, despite the fact it's not really?
No, we wouldn't call it a peloton, but I ride in groups, yeah.
And you're okay with that? I mean, you are. You've done. I mean, your most recent podcast, which is with Jake Wood.
Yes.
It's one of the discussion topics in your podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. That now you have a podcast with Max Branning,
Yes.
as most people would know him.
Yes. Good old Jake Wood.
Jake Wood. Firstly, how the hell do you two know each other?
Well, isn't that obvious?
No.
Aren't we obvious bedfellows?
No, it is the least obvious part thing of all time.
No, Jake's essentially, he was one of the first people I met when I stepped off the boat.
Yep.
Onto British soil.
Or plane?
Coach, actually. My first trip over actually was by coach. And
So this is back in 2002.
yeah, say give it 2003. So I arrived here in 2002, correct? Then I worked for Wycombe Wanderers.
Local to me.
Oh, yeah, okay. Do you sometimes go to Adams Park?
No, because I don't actually like football.
Well, that's a good enough excuse. That is a good enough excuse.
I like watching it. I don't want to go. I don't know what.
Yeah,
that is.
okay. Yeah.
I'm more of a participator. Not that anyone would ever have me on their team, but that's a different story.
Yes, no, that's fair enough though. So if you're not into it, it's more like the people I object to who live in Wycombe, and instead of watching Wycombe, go and watch Spurs or Arsenal and say, watch your local team.
Yeah,
mate." So,
I think it should be compulsory that you watch your local team.
Yeah.
Do you think, is it like in Germany, is it very important that you are not what one would describe as a tourist supporter? Is it like, if you live in Munich, you support Munich. If you live in, there's none
Well,
of that.
Munich is a bit the exception to the rule because they've got
They got
a fan base, as you said, very in inverted commas, all around the country. But most clubs have got they're strong in their local area.
And why? Because obviously I've seen you.
But that's the same. The same applies. Of the 92 clubs in the league, there is probably only 4 or 5 that've got supporters not from the area.
We're talking about Germany now.
No, we're talking about England.
Yeah.
So of the night.
Because you've forgotten about Germany. I mean, you still sound German, but really, are you anymore?
Well, I've been here 23 years, so I'm 42 years of age. So I like it that you didn't challenge that. Thank you very much. Some people had a tough. Yeah. Some people had a tough paper on. So
Including me. Now,
you're only 27, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, actually, in my head, about 18. What's your mental age?
Well, I mean, that's the sort of question, isn't it? Well, are you not all there? So what's your mental age? So 4. I'm 4 years, and I've got mental capacity of a 4-year-old.
Well, good.
No, mental age,
forever
I
youthful.
don't know. I feel younger than 51, but
You're definitely young. I mean,
but
do you
then
not remember when you were growing up what you thought 50-year-olds were like. And now I've got to that. So I'm 56 next birthday, but I've got to that point and I'm like, I am nothing like that. They seemed really old.
But then the funny thing, I watched, it was on somewhere on the social media, they had like an interview with what we would call young people. And they asked, so what year does someone have to be born to be considered old? And they were banning around figures 2000, 2002, and they're soft. So essentially, if they look at us, they think we're...
Arguably, that's when your life started, when you arrived here.
That's right.
Because you came here initially thinking, I'll come for a year and improve my English.
Yeah.
So that didn't work, so you stayed.
Exactly. So and I leave once I think I've mastered it, then I go back.
Now, everybody who comes on this podcast fills out a questionnaire, as regular listeners and viewers will know. And you were quite vociferous in pointing out that you're not a fussy eater and you eat almost anything, despite a vast list of things.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's...
I mean, look...
I eat almost anything, as long as it's something I want to eat. So.
Yeah, okay. So here's your first...
Oh, oatcakes. Oh, yeah.
Now, listen...
But they eat something with them, don't they?
This is your one of your guilty pleasures, an oatcake, right? Which, I mean, is about as exciting from a culinary point of view as watching paint dry.
They're delightful if you get the right brand.
What are you saying? I've got the wrong... Blame Johnny.
Well, we haven't tasted them yet.
Tell me, is that a good oatcake? Because it looks as dull as anything. I mean, I like an oatcake, but I want it with cheese.
It's nicer to have something with it. But seeing you're not providing anything, I might as well eat the
hold on.
oatcake.
You've got lots more food to get through. Because the other thing you were quite adamant about...
Yeah, by the way, do you know what the calorie count on one of them? It's quite a bit.
Yeah, it's about... One is about 110 calories or something like that.
I mean, stupid like that.
And you wouldn't think it to look at it, because on its own, it's a fairly joyless experience.
It's really tasty. Try one.
But hold on, if I start eating that, I will be left with no moisture in my mouth and unable to speak. But I'll give it a
Luckily, we've got a bottle of water there.
I'm definitely going to pour it out. Yeah, look, it's nice. It's got.
I imagine you had something with it.
Like what? What would you have?
So,
what would be your ideal thing? Because you didn't write that down. You just said oatcakes.
What goes very nicely on it is a bit of agave syrup, so you've got a nice sweet. Or if you want something more savoury, just put a little bit of vegan cheese on and you're laughing.
So you are completely vegan. How long have you been vegan?
10 years.
10 years. And what was that, a kind of lifestyle choice, or you thought, I'm such an animal lover that I can't possibly eat animal? What is it? What drove you to that?
It started out with my then girlfriend is a vegan, and that made it easier around the house. And once you embark on that journey, you think, well, I mean, I'm losing weight, I feel a lot healthier, I'm not torturing anyone, so I've got a clear conscience. So, and then you think, oh, and then, let's stick with this.
Now, in your, you mentioned calories.
What, may I have another one?
Yeah, they're all yours. You can have them all. You mentioned calories, and you mentioned, in your questionnaire about dropping out gluten and losing weight and that sort of thing. But you've always struck me as quite a lean individual. Did you?
I had a full fat period.
Oh, really? I had one of those as well. I mean,
and then no, that's
some might say
it's not the way
I've
forward.
come back round to it again, but I was very big in my mid-30s.
Same here.
Yeah, needed a bicycle to get on my good side, which is my favourite joke. There we go. Now, the other thing you were quite vociferous about.
Well, how do I look? What does it look like? People eat and talk while they have food in their mouth. I mean, that's a bit.
It's a food podcast. People expect it. They're not. We're very relaxed here because I have something else I want you to try.
Or should I speak like this?
No, no. Just speak normally, and if some gets spat out, then that's fine. Yeah. Well, look, wait, because I've got more food for you here. Because
I haven't had
the
breakfast.
big debate, because the big thing that came up also in your questionnaire was how much you love German bread and how rubbish our bread is.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
Well, you have implied it in the past. You have taken the mickey out of British baked goods before. Because, well, I mean, look, what I want to do is this.
Yeah.
Here, this is quite heavy because
Like my local health food shop, Trinity Whole Foods in Hastings, best shop in the world.
there are other health food shops available.
Not in Hastings.
No, not in Hastings. No.
So they've been serving the community for more than 40 years.
And
Trinity Whole Foods. So
Trinity Whole Foods, if you are in the Hastings area, or even it's worth the trip by all accounts.
yeah, they've got like good food at the counter, fresh food at the counter as well. They have got a rice and buckwheat bread, which is gluten-free and absolutely delicious.
Okay, so I've got a selection of breads here, which I think crosses the spectrum of breads because, so we have obviously your classic German bread, which
we have Pumpernickel.
Yeah, Pumpernickel, which I love the way you say it so much better, which is a joyless experience.
No, yeah, I've had enough of these.
Take those up. The Pumpernickel bread, fun-free as far as I'm concerned. Do you enjoy a pumper? Is that when you talk about loving German bread, is that the kind of bread you think is good? Because no, you see, look, now that is the most German bread I could find, right? Next up, I think
this one comes into its own if you toast it or put it in the grill. Then that will become really nice, but that needs to get a bit firmer,
right,
a bit crispier.
So sort of like disappointing Melba toast.
Yeah,
okay. So, and then we have this is a rye and seed sourdough, which I can eat that. That's fine. I like that as a bread. Do you want to try some of that as a bread? That I'm not eating. I've had that before. My wife tried to make me eat that. She said it was delicious. I disagreed with her. Doesn't matter how much avocado you put on that. It's horrible. So see, that's a good bread.
But again, that needs something on it. And if it's a bit of oil and salt or something, it needs something on it.
But German bread is too heavy.
You know what
British bread
goes well with a soup?
No.
Anything you can dip.
Yeah. Well, because you've got to put some moisture in it because it's dry and heavy. Whereas British bread or your classic supermarket loaf has literally got almost nothing to it at all.
That's inedible.
Well, you say that. But that just with butter, bacon and ketchup. It's the stuff of dreams. Proper bacon sandwich on
But do you toast it? Do you toast it?
No, you have it raw, crap bread. You've got to have... I can't believe this hasn't filtered down.
It ends up sticking in your mouth.
That's part of it. You've got to peel it off your mouth with your tongue. All that sort of...
Restful experience. That's really hard work.
All right. Now, I mentioned... Look at you. It's almost like... It's like... When was the last time you ate? Because every time I go to take some food away, you grab at it.
Yesterday, I haven't had breakfast because of...
plenty... because we're in Homeslice. You couldn't get away without having a pizza.
You're kidding me.
No. How do you feel about that? Because you said, I like onion, capers, and mushrooms. So that's
right.
Onion, caper, and mushrooms, San Marzano tomatoes, and then what we think is the best... they're not coming to get us. That's just going past. What we think is one of the best vegan cheeses out there that is by a company called Giulio and Bruno. But would you like to try some of this?
Yeah, I mean, I can't eat the whole one.
I bet you could. I bet you could. I can eat a whole one, but then I've had a bit of practice. But, you know, all our pizzas...
Well, you reckon you could eat a whole one? Instead, if someone orders, is that the size pizza they're getting?
Yeah. 20-inch pizzas, whole or by the slice. You can share it with your friend.
But essentially, of the customers that come in, how many of them polish one of them off by themselves?
More than you'd think. More than you think. But
well,
what they usually...
obesity problem in the country stems from, isn't it? So,
well, no, because if you want to talk calories, so a slice of our Margherita has, I think, at the last count, is somewhere between, depending on how much cheese you get on the slice, it's somewhere between 140 and 170 calories a slice.
One slice like this?
No, one slice like that. Because when we do it as slices, we cut it into 6. So this has been cut into 8. So imagine a slice that big. What?
What's the old joke? The man orders a pizza and then the waiter comes, You want 6 slices or 8? No, only 6. I'm not that hungry.
Well, tell me what you think of because this is your design here. This is the Henning special that we put on today. So let's have the pizza. Come on.
That's a good pizza, that.
But that cheese is good, isn't it?
Yeah, very good.
I mean, for pretend cheese or vegan, depending on what you look at it. Do you know? I mean, do you get annoyed with how the rest of the world has sort of hijacked veganism now and sort of tried to make it something else? Or do you think good that more people are eating plant?
Who is trying to make it something else?
Well, I think a lot of the big companies came in and they sort of, they made these alternatives. That's why we started Simplicity, was like all the alternatives we thought didn't taste very nice, had a kind of slightly unpleasant texture and were full of stuff that you didn't actually want to eat and wasn't very good. Because there's that thing because it was around sort of 2017 people started to recognize veganism a bit more, and you'd have people go, oh, I've gone vegan, and then you'd see them 2 months later and they put on about 2 stone because they're eating all those vegan products rather than just vegetables.
Yeah, that can happen. You can overeat.
Yeah.
But the far more likely scenario is if someone turns vegan, they start losing weight. But I'm with you. If you then only eat junk food, you can still eat very, very unhealthily.
Well, the thing is that thing, and a lot with also because you try to be, except when it's an exceptional product like this,
I have
you try to be gluten-free. Right, I'm going to try your pizza. Wherever possible, you try to be gluten-free, right? But you did that started because of a sort of feeling that that's what was making you larger than you wanted to be.
Yeah, like what they say, like feel a bit crazy, feel like a bit. Yeah, just feel like a bit bloated. Okay, then people say, well, only eat when you're hungry and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, there is that. Yeah. Put the food down.
Put the food down when you're
not in your mouth.
Yeah.
That's quite nice. But those are those sweet white onions, which are just kind of, they're not as kind of, overpowering. So
everything is great. The mushrooms are great.
Well, we try.
And the cheese is really good. I mean, this is delicious.
Now, I'm going to finish this mouthful before I give you the next question.
But this is wheat flour base. Yeah,
it is. But it's proper 00 Caputo flour, highest quality. Because here we just use the best we possibly can. So I think you share this thing with my father. So my father came here from Ireland in the 70s, right? 1970 he arrived, when most people in this country thought Irish people either laid roads, put tarmac down, or blew you up. Right? You came here as a German man, where there is still, it was still okay to make jokes about the war and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of the stuff that you've appeared on previously, there's a lot of war jokes. There's a lot of German jokes. But I think you've kind of changed the opinion of, single-handedly, changed the opinion of how we view Germans and their sense of humour.
Absolutely. Forget about Jürgen Klopp and all the others. Single-handedly, all me.
Well, Jürgen Klopp's not as funny as he thinks he is. I mean, he's good, but he's no Henning, is he?
He's no Henning, no.
No. But was that hard to begin with? I mean, the first time you stood up in front of an audience here as a German man, was it the warmest reception that anybody got that evening?
Well, I was quite lucky because my English wasn't good enough to understand what was going on.
No idea you were being heckled.
No, yeah, exactly.
But has that eased over the years? Did it reach a peak at certain points? Did you have to get very good at sort of parrying or, various heckles? Or was it just they're slightly moronic and they tend to say the same thing every time?
What was your father's take on that?
He just always thought that if he did the best job he possibly could, eventually people would understand what he was about, and that he wasn't. He also has gone on record as saying he wasn't really totally aware of it, because anyone he met was quite nice. But he didn't, open the fader on the microphone and think, "Oh, I hope they don't think I'm a terrorist." I mean, he just was himself. And in the same way that I think people sense, even with a language barrier, that you're just being you.
And the thing is, like most Brits who you speak to, they've got very positive individual experiences of Germany. Say that some of them have been there with the forces. Then you have people who went on Rhine cruises and other holidays in Germany, or they've got German friends they met on holiday. So on an individual level, everyone's got a positive opinion of Germany. It's just then once there is a critical mass, say two, then the goose stepping starts. But that's just, I mean, that's panto, isn't it? So it's
yeah. But
I cannot, with the best will in the world, I can't get offended about that.
So you don't get hurt by that because it's just too ridiculous.
Like, say England were playing Germany at the Euros at Wembley, and there was like the national uproar about people singing, booing the German anthem, and 10 German bombers and all that. I mean, if you can't boo the German anthem at Wembley at the football, what's the point of football? We might as well say, no, it's not happening any longer. So that's all part of it.
Is that where at Wembley at a Germany England football match, we can lower our moral standing?
Bombers and boo the German national anthem. What's the point of football?
But I just find it, because do you think it was down to, in the same thing, thank you, that my father had, there was a certain amount of naivety as well as to what you were taking on?
Yeah, definitely. I'll give you one example. As you can see, I never wear a wristwatch.
Yeah.
So, and I've never worn wristwatches. And the comedy promoters, they're very particular about how long they want you on stage.
Yeah.
So they say 5 minutes, and 5 means 5, not 6, not 4, 5. So, and because I was never wearing a wristwatch, I had no idea how to time myself. I said, I see, well, I'll tell you what I do. Get myself a stopwatch. So I put that round my neck, started me, say, oh, look, I'm unbuttoned. What happened there? So, put a wristwatch round my neck, and then at the start of the set, I was going, off we go, press start. So that way I could time myself. And then I didn't realize that I was playing into the German stereotype of being meticulous and efficient and everything. I just did that because the comedy promoters are so anal about how long you're on stage. I said, well, I'll time myself then.
It's the only comic with a stopwatch, right? But wasn't it? It was Stuart Lee gave you quite a leg up, wasn't it? In terms of you supported him. He
asked me to support him on 2 of his tours, and he was definitely a great guide to travel around the country with.
And that in itself is, I always say that where politicians are stupid, other than a number of areas, is if you want to know what the temperature of the country is, ask a touring comedian. Because they will know better than anybody else. And then you get this sort of crash course in Britain by touring around it and trying to make them laugh as a German man.
Yeah, that is bizarre. I mean, I find, are you familiar with the comic? Her name is Blank Peng.
Yes.
She is from China, isn't she? So, and then she just gets on a train. Last time I worked with her, we were both working together in Hitchin.
Yeah. So
then she's from somewhere in China, and then she sits on a train to get to Hitchin, walk to some sports hall or something, do a gig, and then go back to London. But so what are you doing here? So it's like, that's just the most bizarre thing, isn't it? So you have got someone from China in Hitchin in some sports hall. I find that absolutely hilarious.
But that is the thing with comics, is they're strange people. I mean, let's be honest. You know, you like you say, you come from anywhere in the world, but you travel around to towns you've never been to venues you've never been to try and make people laugh.
Yeah, but that's not much different from any salesperson who door-to-door salesperson.
Well, the other thing I always say is this, right? So if Sir Ian McKellen stands up and does a 20-minute monologue from Shakespeare, everyone's like, oh my goodness me, that's incredible. Comic does 90 minutes every night. Andy wrote it or she wrote it. Why aren't they more celebrated? I think it's such an art form when you get to the standard that you guys are at, you know, people like yourself and friends of mine and other comics that I really enjoy, that people don't understand how much of an art form it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you then think of Ian McKellen, he probably stands on some beautiful stage. So, and that elevates everything, innit? So like, when I'm on tour, I always play the London Palladium. So, and if you play the Palladium, just for the fact that you're there, elevates everything. Like the perception of what people see, but it's no different from standing at the Crescent in Peterborough. So it's still the same show, but it's just the environment changes the perception.
But obviously doing TV as you've done in this country helps enormously with ticket sales. But also, do you think it helps with what you can get away with saying, or do you think it hinders what you can get away with saying, being more of a kind of known face or personality? Were you more risque as an unknown comic, or are you able to go further as a known one?
I don't necessarily think that has got that much bearing on it. How well known you are. To answer that question, no, I don't. I think, I mean, the difference obviously is if you are more well known, you can sell tickets in your own name, so there is an audience that's there entirely to see you. So then obviously you start on +10. Whereas whereas in other situations you might be starting on -10. So obviously on +10 you can play with more confidence, and then you can express yourself a bit more freely.
But like any performers, you get the sort of wave of whatever it is back from the audience. You grow, and naturally the performance improves, doesn't it?
Yeah, then some people might crumble under it, but I mean, as you say, most of the time it does. Yeah, it elevates it.
Now, listen, we've got to that time in proceedings where I am going to hand you this fetching mask, which you chose beforehand, which you went for palm trees. We're gonna move this out quickly.
But we're not chucking it.
No, absolutely not. You can take that home. I've got a half.
What a day!
Look, there are so many half-eaten oatcakes all over this place. But we are.
You want a burger?
No, I'm all right at the moment because it's time for me to give you your first spoon. However, because you were quite clear on portion size, there are no spoons. There's some knife and fork action.
Yeah.
And there is, I will just feed you directly action. But it is an exercise in trust. That's all I'm saying. So on with the blindfold and on with the first spoon. Right, here we go.
Is it going to be an oatcake?
No, it's not. You've had enough of those. Right, so this is the first spoon here. And I'm going to feed this to you. And I will need you to open wide. There we go. Give a good bite down on that. Oh, no, we don't rub that in. That's good. Get that off your cuff.
Fine.
You enjoying that? Is that nice?
That is nice.
Are you getting any is it creating any sort of nostalgia for you? Any memories? What is it you're eating? Have we in some way maybe taken you back to your childhood?
Give us another spoonful.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, I'm just going to make that easier for you to eat. I'm just going to adjust it. There we go. Open wide. There we go. What do you think of that?
Well, if I wouldn't know any better, I would say you're feeding me that burger.
No. Goodness me. Any flavour profiles in there at all?
Well, it tastes a bit bready.
Yes, that's correct. albeit at your request, gluten-free bread.
Give us another spoonful.
Goodness me. I mean, talk about making sure. There we go. Is there any other flavours in there? Maybe a spice. Okay, look, blindfold off.
Give us another spoon. Give us another.
Why don't you just eat the whole thing? There we go. Spices, flavours, textures. Anything.
Textures could be something like jackfruit.
No.
Give us another.
No, take the blindfold off. We're going to do this. So I have recreated in a vegan format the currywurst sausage in a roll. Part of your childhood.
No.
You're not impressed with that? You know, I mean,
It's nice.
if you are, tell your face.
Very nice.
So that is, again, I mean, subtle or unsubtle plug. That is a simplicity sausage, which is beetroots, mushrooms, and onions. And then I did a little curry sauce and a vegan hot dog bun for you. Now hold on a second. Yeah. I didn't put on loads of sauce because you said no, not.
So I just want to get the taste of the sauce. Well, have you ever had German currywurst?
No, it's my interpretation of it.
Oh yeah, okay then.
Yeah,
that's why it was impossible to.
Oh, okay. So what are you saying? That's rubbish? Is that rubbish? I'm good. I'm very good at my curries here.
It's very tasty.
It's a good curry sauce, right?
Yeah, but I think you misunderstand what a curry sauce is on the currywurst.
All right, so
that's
educated.
When it's essentially you heat it up ketchup, and then you just chuck some curry powder in.
Right. Yeah, I went a bit far and made a proper curry.
Yeah, exactly. What you've made is an extra curry sauce because I was thinking that tastes a bit like something down the Indian. Yeah, so it tastes a bit like a korma or something.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right. It's predominantly a korma sauce. That you see.
Nice, Don. Very nice.
See, why couldn't you have said that out loud? I kept having to feed you more and more. Now look, I want you're a man who has travelled in your You're a man who's travelled a lot in your time. But sometimes that hasn't panned out for you so well, has it? Like you once were on a list for Interpol.
I was, yeah.
I mean, that's not something a lot of people achieve whilst travelling.
Well, these days in America, what they manage there is stay 6 weeks in a detention centre, so that's something I still need to achieve.
But I didn't realise Interpol had a missing persons list. Your parents managed to get you on that. How long had you been missing?
I don't know, 3-4 weeks or so. But I wasn't missing at all. That was all pre-internet. So you weren't sending emails or pre-mobile phone. So I just met. Was travelling in Spain with my bicycle.
Yeah.
And
in Lycra. Were you in Lycra?
Well, what I do in them situations, I might wear Lycra under and then put like an inconspicuous pair of shorts over.
Yeah, so you're not sort of, displaying your wares to all and sundry all over the continent.
Yeah, because you don't want to unsettle everyone, innit? So you have to. So and then the weather in the north of Spain was dreadful. And I saw in the paper that it was really good in the south. So I'll take the train to the south.
How many? This is a long time ago.
Yeah, we're talking
early 90s.
Yeah. So I said, the weather is good down south. Well, let's go down south. Then on the train, I got talking to a Moroccan fella from Zaragoza, and he was on the way to visit his family in Morocco. And they said, "You fancy coming?" And I said, "Well, when else am I going to go to Morocco?" "Yeah, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound." So, and then...
I mean, I suppose if you'd rung your parents up and said, "I've met a man from Morocco and it's, I'll be back in 3 weeks," they would have said no. But instead you said nothing, disappeared for 3 weeks, and they ended up putting you on the Interpol.
Yeah. I was, So, and over there was no... So when I sent them... I sent postcards as well. Sent them a postcard from Morocco. Said, in Morocco, everything's cushy.
And they didn't believe that?
Yes, because I sent another postcard to a mate of mine saying I've joined the Foreign Legion.
Okay.
So, and then he spotted the opportunity for a joke, went round to my parents with that postcard. Oh, I think you should see this.
Now, this leads us to the subtle but very important difference between what the English would find funny and what the Germans would find funny. Because there is a certain brutality to German humour that we don't have here, which is like, oh, you fell over and chopped your leg off. That's terribly funny. Whereas we're like, oh no, we won't laugh about that. There is a harshness to German humour that British doesn't have. So, you know, like scaring the crap out of people's parents wouldn't be deemed particularly funny here, but they're hilarious, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I've got your next spoon for you here. So it's time for that, Henning.
Are we having some greens as well, some salad? We've been very light on salad so far.
Well, let's see. Okay. I mean, there is something green on this.
I mean, this so far has not been an advert for healthy eating, I don't think.
Well, look, it's comfort eating as well. You know, I want to provide comfort for you, pleasure, that kind of thing. So this, I'm going to cut a piece off and put it on a fork for you. All right.
This one is a soup, actually.
Yeah. So open wide. Here we go. Bit wider. Now, tell me about flavors, textures.
Very, 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 very nice.
Oh, we like that. Any idea what it could be?
Oh, that's that stuff I hate. First I only got the sauce. That was delicious, but the rest is bloody awful. It's that chicory stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Take the.
Dreadful.
Hold on a second. Look, take that off. Look at how beautiful that is.
Yeah, it might look.
I've literally combined all your least favourite ingredients in one thing. So, that is a chicory tarte tatin with blue cheese, and then finished with walnuts. So basically, almost everything you hate, because there's lots of sugar. But I did, just for you, the puff pastry is gluten-free.
The puff pastry is very nice, but the chicory.
But hold on, the first you were like, oh, that's delicious.
Yeah, because of the sweetness and all that. So and then I bit onto the chicory and I say, oh, rank.
But okay. So what you're saying is, you wouldn't have more of that because you've had more of everything else. Can I tempt you to more of that?
Well, how did you do this? Is there a chance of cutting out the chicory?
Yeah. I mean, you can eat that bit. That's literally just the crust.
Again, that's just very, very sweet.
Well, hold on. What about if you just scraped the chicory off and eat that bit? And then maybe you'll get the sort of sweetness and the blue cheese taste in there.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better, is it? Now that we've removed the chicory. You see, I think that balances the chicory's bitterness out. You've got that kind of, yin and yang going on. No, Henning's not.
Let me put it on. I appreciate the skill that's gone into this, but I wouldn't order it.
Thank you. Now, I just want to talk about acid vein.
Go to the website henningwehn.de and that's where all the dates are.
Yeah, but I mean, Aberdeen, Inverness, Dundee, Edinburgh, Swansea, St Albans, and then of course, you're doing the Hackney Empire.
Yes, done the Palladium.
That's not till October. But are you away July, August?
In all likelihood, yeah.
Yeah. So you tend not. There are no July, August dates.
That's correct.
Do you like to get away in the summer? Is it on the bicycle?
Well, I live by the sea. I live in Hastings, so you might as well stay in.
That is the other thing that I find extraordinary. So a man comes from Germany, right, and chooses to live. You couldn't get a more British seaside town than Hastings, could you? I mean, it's about as British as it can get. It's cold. It's not necessarily that conducive to going in the sea. Do you swim in the sea down in Hastings?
Not much of a sea swimmer.
No. Why Hastings then?
Well, my then girlfriend and I, we said we moved to the countries. We moved to the coast. Looked at a few and then
Hastings. Got a lot to answer for.
Oh no, she's all right.
Okay.
So, and no, Hastings, veganism clear winner and Hastings clear winner.
Okay, so she left you with two good things.
Yeah, that's right.
this tour, give us a little bit of, as the German comedy ambassador, you are, as you mentioned before, you're taking an unbiased look at climate change.
Honestly, Mark, I can't believe how rank that tastes.
Oh, cheek. I mean, look, the important thing is you don't go on about it. The nice thing is you've eaten that and you've let it go. Do you want an oat cake? That'll help.
Yeah,
There, have an oat cake. So this new, you're kind of touching on a subject that is almost become unfashionable as a subject, hasn't it?
Yeah, climate change.
Yeah. It's sort of everyone's like, oh, that's not as important as it used to be.
I'm always
Mainly led by a strange orange man.
I'm always really conscious not to ever speak when I eat with my mouth full.
Well, stop
And now
eating
you've
then. I'm asking
90 minutes record of me eating.
Well,
talking.
I mean, the other thing is you could not eat.
Yeah, but that is counterintuitive to the premise of this program.
Well, there is
isn't it?
that. There is that.
How do other guests do it?
They don't make as big a thing of it as you have, Henning, to be honest.
What, do they just eat and don't say anything and then they start talking again? Or
No, I mean, some people find, like I can sort of, unless it's a very big mouthful, I can sort of hamster it away in the corner and then between answers finish it off. But the thing is, though, you do eat more than other people. I'm just saying, I'm not. Look, I'm not trying to shame you.
No, I'm
shape or form, but you have
Shame
definitively
me for not wasting food. I mean, that would be a strange attempt.
No, listen, I'm never about waste, and I will be having your chicory because I know that tastes delicious, despite the fact that you've. Oh no, look, you've just got the taste out of your mouth. Why are you doing it again? Oh, you're feeding it to me. Oh, there we go. That's delicious. You've got all that tartness of the chicory balanced by the sweetness of the sugar and a little mustiness off the cheese. Delicious. No. Now, while I'm chewing this, because you put too big a mouthful in, tell us why you chose this topic for your new show.
Well, because it's a jolly topic, isn't it? The last one was an unbiased look at the COVID crisis. And then I thought, well, what's even jollier? Well, climate change, isn't it? So
so you're just spreading joy.
That's me.
Around the country.
That's me.
Around subjects that kind of might divide people.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
But
what I found climate change far less divisive than COVID.
Really? Did you find, right, because that last tour lasted a whole year, right? So the tour lasts a year.
Longer than that, actually. 2 years mostly, but
yeah. But in the course of that, so say because what was it called?
It'll all come out in the wash?
Yeah. So as you started that, there would have been some residual stuff. As you finished it, people would have had more information, more kind of awareness, and been more receptive to what you were saying by the end of it.
That was quite interesting, actually, the COVID one, because at the beginning, I had regularly people berating me, leaving in tears and all that. So by the end, the vast majority of people were agreeing with me. And then you think, that is just so... And you think, I liked it better when people were up in arms.
I think, so you've changed everybody's opinion about Germans. You've changed everybody's opinion about COVID. You're going to change everybody's opinion about climate change. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do next, but I wish you every success with it.
I've already lined that up. The next one will be an unbiased look at mental health.
Okay, I'm in. Thank you, Henning. You've been fantastic.
Thanks, Mark.
I wish you every success with the tour. If people want to buy tickets, I've got this written down here. Look at this. You can go to www.henningwehn.de, which is the kind of German Deutschland. Yeah, I like what you did there. And also, the podcast you do with Jake Wood is Wood and Wen in the membrane.
Wood Wen in the membrane.
Yes. I see what he did. I like the way you did that. That is all for this week. A massive thank you to Henning. And of course, as I said, if you want tickets to his show, you can find those by going to www.henningwehn.de. And you can see where he's playing and buy tickets. And amazingly, some are still available. But if you log on, you can solve that for him today. I will be back next week with another very special guest who will be trying the food that they think they love and the food that they think they hate. If you like what we're doing here, you can find us across all your social media by searching Spooning with Mark Wogan. And, as I mentioned before, we are on the Virgin YouTube channel in glorious Technicolor. All right? Also, if you haven't had enough of me by then, you can get me on Virgin Radio Chilled 10 till 2 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, where I will be playing you the most relaxing music for your weekend. And I'm on Grumpy Old Men on Talk. So, until next week, stay beautiful.